Okay, are you ready to get started? So today we're going to be talking about this idea of when you're afraid to say how much you charge. Keep in mind, this can apply to your situation, whether you work for yourself and own your own business, you're an entrepreneur, or you're an employee for a company. So in the case of someone that works for themselves, your prices are your own. You choose them. And a lot of people are afraid when the time comes to sell their packages, their service, their products, they're afraid to say how much they charge. The same is true of an employee in a company where maybe you realize it's time for me to ask for a raise, or I deserve more, or I'm making less than other people in my industry. And you're afraid to go in and talk to the decision makers about a raise, and it brings up all this stuff, right? It brings up fear. It brings up this idea of people are going to think that I think that I'm better than them, or I'm too good, or they're going to think that I'm not worth that price, or I feel like a fraud. You've probably heard of something called imposter syndrome. It's the idea of I'm an imposter, I don't really know what I'm doing, and people are going to find out, right? And so by charging a high price, they're going to realize that much quicker because I'm not worth this much money. I could never possibly do anything that would make me worth that much money, right? Things along those lines. There also, a lot of people will think, oh, this person that I'm talking to, oh, they can't afford it. Well, and that may or may not be true. So some people will not be able to afford your prices, but even the most popular person in the world doesn't work with every single person, right? So we want you to be able to be working with the people that are going to benefit from what you have to offer. And any relationship, remember, has to be mutually beneficial, right? So some people may not be able to afford whatever it is that you're charging, and that's okay. But it brings up a lot of fear. People feel scared, they feel embarrassed, ashamed, they feel like a fraud. And so we're just gonna do an exercise. We're gonna jump in, we're gonna start tapping on some of this stuff. Notice what comes up. So before we get started, I want you to have your little piece of paper there, and I want you to take a moment and take a deep breath, and I want you to imagine that you are either in that meeting with your boss, or you're on the phone or in a meeting with a potential client, and you're about to tell them, this is how much I want to be making. And I want you to not think for a moment, for the sake of this exercise, like, what do I think that I could get? No, I want you to think, this is what I want to be charging. And immediately, what's coming up in your body? Are you feeling scared? Are you feeling jittery? Are you feeling embarrassed? Are you feeling, some people feel just downright terror, okay? So I want you to take a moment and pause this if need be, and I want you to write everything down that you're feeling. Maybe thoughts, this is crazy, I can't charge that much. It may be feelings, I'm feeling really scared right now. And even if a memory comes up, just jot that down, okay? And we're gonna jump right in. So just follow along. You can change the words as needed if something seems really relevant to you. If a strong memory comes up, just stop the video and tap on that, but keep tapping, tell the story out loud. I want you to do this out loud because it really does just have a stronger effect. So taking a deep breath in, and we're going to start tapping on what we call the karate chop point. Even though I'm feeling terrified about this right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. The thought of saying this price out loud terrifies me, but I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I could never charge this amount of money, but I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And I want you to take a deep breath, and we're going to start with the point here, okay? So this is bringing up a lot of big feelings for me. The thought of saying how much I charge terrifies me. It's way too much money. There's no way anyone would ever pay me this amount of money. There's no way I'm worth this money. Yes, other people charge this amount of money, but they're much more qualified than I am. I know it, and this person knows it. And it feels terrible. I don't want to think about it. It feels embarrassing because they're going to laugh. They're going to think that I think that I'm better than them. They're going to think that I'm ripping them off. And it embarrasses me. I don't want anyone to think that I think that I'm better than them. It's not true. I don't even believe that I'm worth this much money. And every time I even so much as think about charging this price, I break out in a cold sweat. It feels terrible. I feel like I'm going to get in trouble. Like I'm stealing. When I think about saying the price I really want to charge, I feel like a little kid that's about to get in trouble. And I want you to notice if there's any memory from childhood that's coming up. And if there is, you can tap on that or jot it down to tap on later. I feel like a little kid that's about to be humiliated. It's embarrassing. And I don't want to be embarrassed. So it's easier not to even put myself out there. I mean, why would I bother? No one's going to pay me that much. And honestly, it doesn't even feel safe to say it. It's this feeling of being in trouble. It's this feeling of not being liked, of being judged, of being laughed out of the room. It feels really unsafe. And I don't want to do it. And no one can make me. You can't make me charge this price. I don't even need this much money. I don't want this much money. People really need my help, and they can't afford to pay these prices. But I'm a good person, so I should give it to them for free. Or I should give a giant discount. Or I should add in so much more than what I promised, just to prove that I'm really worth these prices. Oh my gosh, that's it. I feel like I have to prove myself. I have to justify being paid this much money. I need to prove that I'm worth it, and I don't know if I can. What is that about? I didn't really realize that before. Why should I have to prove anything? I actually am really good at this. I do know that deep down. And I do have a lot of experience. And even if I'm kind of new at this, that's okay because I've spent my time and my money learning. And I'm giving my best. I'm giving my all. And I do deserve to be paid well for my services, for my product. I deserve to have clients that honor my work. I deserve to work with people that see the value in what I offer. And those are the people that I want to work with. After all, I don't try to get everything for free. No one gives me everything for free. So why do I have this expectation that I can't charge and charge well for my services? I realize that it's really charged. But this is something that I really want to offer the world. And I want and deserve to be paid well for it. And even though that still feels scary, I'm open to letting a piece of that fear be gone. I'm open to releasing this old memory. I'm open to letting this feeling of fear and scarcity lift up and out of my nervous system, where it's probably been living my whole life. It's been holding me back my whole life. And I was never aware. I didn't realize it. But I have a new awareness now in just a few minutes. And I'm ready to acknowledge that I really am great at what I do. And a part of me really does want to be paid and paid well for it. And I acknowledge that I do deserve that. I've spent a lot of time and money and energy attaining these skills. And I have a lot more experience than I realized until right now. And so I am open to shifting my attitude and my awareness around this right here and right now. I'm open to letting go of this percentage of the fear. And so fill that percentage in. I'm open to letting go 5%, 50%, 72%. And I'm open to being paid what I'm worth. And I know that I'm a work in progress, but I'm willing to give my best. And I know that I'm growing and evolving, but I do deserve to be paid well. And it feels a lot better to realize that than to be living in fear. And I'm open to feeling a new sense of joy and peace when I think about charging what I really want to charge. I'm at peace with myself. And I want you to take a deep breath in. Just close your eyes and take a deep breath. And notice how you're feeling, and go back and re-rate all of the feelings and the thoughts that you had at the beginning. So on that scale from 1 to 10, notice what shift, what numbers have gone down as anything stay the same. On rare occasions, something may go up. You've just gotten more in touch with that feeling. And I encourage you to go back and repeat and focus on that feeling. And so feel free to leave me a comment. Let me know how this is helping. And commit to doing this for a week or two every day. It's a short video. You can come back and do this 1 or more times a day and notice what starts to shift. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you, and have a great rest of your day.